In the 500 or so videos that DIY Doctor have done, you will not see me painting anything. I don't like painting, I'm no good at it, and I leave it to the decorators, they are good at it. That was until we were sent this little thing here. This is a FasTrim cutting in roller, and having had a little go with it, we loved it. DIY Doctor's moving offices at the moment, so it was an ideal opportunity to try this out before we presented a video to you. We didn't want to take something straight out of the box and use it. We of course tested it, and we're in the middle of doing that now. And I'm going to demonstrate that under normal circumstances, if we were doing a room, decorating a room, or my guys were doing a room like this, then there'd be lots of masking tape used, and we'd be protecting the edges of this, that and the other skirting boards and all the rest of it. But with this little thing, there's no need. It's got, as you can see, let me put that down, the end, if we've got a close up here, the roller itself goes pretty much right up to the end. There's no big disc as there is with a normal roller, and you collect the paint on the roller as normal, we'll see that in a moment, and we can butt this end right up to the piece that we're painting against without any fear of covering it in paint. One thing they don't recommend on the box, but we would recommend, is that you carry a little bit of tissue with you, a kitchen roll or whatever. When the roller is full, you'll see me just dabbing the end on the roller just to make sure there's no paint on this, so that when we go up against surfaces, the paint gets right up to the very edge, but there's no paint on the edge itself. So I'm going to demonstrate by doing this fairly tricky area. It doesn't do away with the need for a brush altogether, because you can see very quickly up here and in here you can't get this roller in, so you do need a paintbrush as well. But for the larger cutting in areas, the things that really take the time, this FasTrim is absolutely amazing. You'll also see me, when I get down to the bottom there, undo this little red clip here and move it to one side, exposing this hole. Now, a close up on that will show you the little lug on the plastic clip there. Cameraman's making all sorts of demonstrations to me, so he's seen that, and then that allows me to move the head of the roller at an angle to the handle. Now when I get down the bottom, that's going to be absolutely ideal, because that's going to save me bending all the way down. And when I get up to the top, that's going to save me getting on some steps and being parallel with the roller. So an incredible idea from the FasTrim paint roller. When you've got the position that you want, lock that in place, make sure it's locked by moving the roller, and there we have it set at the angle. So for now, I'm going to undo the lug, put the roller into its upright position, drop that back in its little hole, check that it's locked, I don't want it moving about when I'm decorating, and we're ready to go. It comes with a fantastic little tray, as you'd expect from rollers. It comes with a little tray there, but this one's got a notch out especially for the roller itself, so there's no need to get any paint on the surface. I mean, always protect the floor, quite obviously, but what we're going to do now is just get straight on with the job. So using the roller tray, we'll apply plenty of paint, make sure, and then, as I've said, just dab the end onto a piece of tissue so we don't get any paint on the end, and then you'll see just how easily this is applied to the wall. Now, for a non-decorator, it really doesn't get any easier than this. Even right up to a light socket, and you can see the edge there, you can see there's no paint on the light socket, we're not trying to cheat. Down the edge of there, even tiny little areas, we'll go up here first, and then we'll go across, so we can get right into the corner, and there we have it. So, a little more paint required, but you can see by looking along there, because we've dabbed the edge of that roller on our cloth, there's no paint or whatever, in this case on the conduit, but it could be the skirting board, could be anywhere, so we'll put a bit more on there just to be absolutely sure. And again, you can see no paint on the surface, or the edge that I'm painting up to. So we'll go along here. Now that's cutting in at its very best. No paint on the surface, a little bit more paint on the roller. And as I've said, what we're going to do now is change the angle of the roller, which you saw me doing earlier. Make sure that's locked in place. Get some paint on the roller. Make sure it's well covered. Little dab at the end, as I've suggested, and then straight on to the wall. Once again, you can see nicely cut in, and if the camera zooms down here, you can see there's absolutely no paint on the skirting at all. So there you have it. I'm going to carry on doing that, and then you'll see, if you watch the follow-on video about paint stick, which we will be using to do the main walls. You can see how we're decorating our offices, but this little FasTrim Roller is incredible. We really like it. You can see from the condition of it, we're using it all the time now to do our offices before we move. The adjustment is fantastic. It allows me to do an awful lot of things that I wouldn't be able to do. You'll also see that when we get up high, it can be screwed into a normal extension pole for a decorating roller. You'll see that again in just a second. So I'm going to get on and get this finished. I think you need to nip out and get one. A great little thing, the FasTrim Roller.